Good morning. Today, we are going to do a fun day in the life video of a bariatric patient. And bonus, today's my birthday. So you get to see what I'm choosing to eat for my birthday, what I choose to do during the day, and we are going to start out with a workout. So stay tuned. To part 2 of my morning workout, and my friend messaged me this morning and said, hey, my alarm didn't go off for my 5 a.m. run. Okay, first of all, who's crazy enough to go to work out at 5 a.m.? Anyways, so she said, my alarm didn't go off, do you want to go run with me? And I thought, ugh, this is a person who runs all the time, so I had to put a few rules in place, like I'm a beginner, don't go too fast, and can we do minimal to no hills, please? Anyway, she laughed at me for a second and said sure. So I'm on my way to go run with her. At this point in my fitness journey, I'm running about just over 2 miles at a time, but not running the whole thing. So I'm walking, so I'm kind of hoping that she'll push me to run a little bit further, because my first attempt at a 5K will be tomorrow. And so if she can push me today to run just a little bit further than what I'm used to and not walk in between as much, then I'm hoping that tomorrow during my 5K, I will be able to run the whole thing. And I know it's all mental. I know that I could probably do it if I didn't think about it, and I just did it and put on some awesome music and just went with it. But it's mental. So anyways, I'm on my way to my run with her. Just finished up my other workout, which you just saw, and I'll get back with you when I'm done with my run and I'm more sweaty. Whew. Okay, run done. That was awesome. What was really cool about running with this particular friend is that she is a runner, and so she pushed me much further than I would have done on my own, which is really cool. So we ran the first full mile, which is a big feat for me, so that was really cool. It felt awesome. My lungs are still very much on fire from that, but it pushed me to do something a little bit more than what I would have done normally. And then we walked a little bit, and then we ran a little bit more. So I would say of the just over 3 miles we went, I probably ran about 1.5 miles, which isn't terrible. I probably could have done more, but it was like 38 degrees outside. And so the cold really affected like my lungs and my chest. And so I did, I think I could have done a little bit better if I would have gone later in the day, or if it was a little warmer outside, maybe. I don't know, maybe not. But anyways, it was a really nice run, and I'm on my way home now to make my post-workout shake. Okay, I'm back from my run. It was awesome. And so now is my post-workout. But you know what? Honestly, I couldn't have done my run without this little pink drink right here. It's Energized by Beachbody. And the reason why is because I need a little bit of energy to get me going. You can see that the energy is still there. But anyways, what's really nice about this, real talk, is a lot of people will get up and have their coffee in the morning. Well, coffee makes me poop, so I don't want to poop on my run, and so that's where this guy comes in. So I'm still drinking that down. Usually I drink it all during my pre-workout, or rather my strength training portion of my workout, and then I go on my run. But I cut the strength training a little bit short today because I was meeting my friend in 20 minutes, and my strength training is 25 minutes. So anyways, cut it short. So I only did half. So I'm gonna finish this up, and then I'm gonna make my post-workout shake. Okay, so I had to take a shower and get out of my sweaty clothes. I cannot stand to be in those longer than I have to be. So just making my post-workout shake. It's important to have, when you're building muscles, to have something that you can have after your workout that is high in protein. So I like these. They taste like an orange creamsicle, super yummy. 1 scoop into your water. And I do mine thick because I can't, well, first of all, I can't fit very much into my stomach, right? So the more water I add to it, the longer it takes me to drink. And I want to get it done faster, because let's just be real, all of these drinks taste better when they are colder. So you just put it in here, give it a couple shakes. For this one, if you shake it up too much, it gets super foamy. So that's all it takes. It's just a couple of shakes and it's done. So next stop is the grocery store. I always pack bars in my purse whenever I leave the house. It has been paramount to my success to have snacks in my purse. That way I'm not tempted to go and stop at fast food or grab something at the grocery store that I don't need. And it keeps my cravings at bay, because usually, you know, these protein bars are flavored, like this one's peanut butter, this one's chocolate cherry, and then you've got chocolate almond crunch. And so because they kind of have that candy sense to them, it's a lot better, in my opinion, because it gets rid of that craving and it makes you feel like you've had something sweet. So anyways, I really like that. So I always pack my purse with bars or tuna packets. That's another thing that I put in my purse, so that I can be successful. And I always bring my water bottle with me. Still struggling to get 3 of these in a day. I probably get about 1.5 in, which is terrible. But when I do my pre-workout and my post-workout, both of those have about 8 ounces of liquid. So this one has probably a little bit more. I can't read the side when it's orange like that. But anyways, they both have about 8 ounces of liquid. So that's 16 ounces right there. And then when I get back from the grocery store, I'll have my protein shake, which will be another 8 to 10 ounces of water. So I am getting those liquids there. And my nutritionist said that I can count that liquid towards my water goal for the day. So yay me. So check with your nutritionist and see if that's on your plan as well. So anyways, off to the grocery store. Okay, so we're back from the grocery store. We got all kinds of things that we needed for the house. I have 2 teenagers living here, so we have to get all of the things in all of the quantities. But the 2 things that I'm gonna go ahead and make right now are, I'm gonna make my birthday cake. The reason why I'm making it is because normally I would go and get it from a bakery, but they put sugar in it and I didn't want any sugar. So I thought I would do my own spin. It's Pavlova cake. And what I really love about it is just so light and fluffy, but it's basically a hardened meringue slice on the bottom. And then you put whipped cream and berries, and then a layer of the meringue again with whipped cream and berries, and then you layer it as many times as you want. So I thought I'd do 2 layers. So a layer of meringue and whipped cream and mixed berries, meringue, whipped cream, mixed berries, and go from there. So I'm using Monk Fruit Sweetener for my sweetener, and Xanthan Gum for my cornstarch, in order to keep the egg whites nice and fluffy. So I'm gonna do that. And then when I'm done doing that, I'm gonna do a little bit of meal prep. So I got a roasted chicken. I know I can roast my own chicken, but I'm lazy, and it's $7 to have somebody else do it. And so I have the roasted chicken. I'm gonna go ahead and debone it and make it do some chicken salad. And so eating that just in spoonfuls would be awesome. And then I do the avocado oil mayo. So to each his own. This says reduced fat. Some people do fat-free or low fat or light, but I like the avocado oil mayo. So without further ado, so tasty. Okay, so, ooh, look at that. So you can make individual ones, but I want to try my hand at making a family-sized one. So we'll see. It's a really great dessert. It's especially good in summertime. I will put the ingredients and the directions in the comments because this is amazing. And what I really like about it is that it is protein packed. There are not very many carbs in it. I would have to put it inside of my tracker to know how many carbs are in it for sure. But I do know that it is protein packed, which is awesome because it's basically egg whites and whipping cream, a little bit of fruit, and then your monk fruit flavoring. So we'll set this to the side. Okay. So then you put this on your parchment paper, and it is super thick. So you put it on your parchment paper, and then it's not gonna grow while it's in the oven, but what you wanna do is try to get it into nice round layers, like a cake. So it might be hard because it's on parchment paper and the parchment paper is gonna wanna move. But we'll try it. Also important to get them equal thickness so that they will dry out at the same rates. Now in this recipe, I did use 7 eggs. So, and I've got a ton left. So maybe I'll make some little meringue cookies or something. Because I feel like this is plenty. So, I don't know if you can see me. I put them in 2 piles. And right now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put them into cake-shaped layers, and I will show you that when I am finished. All right, what do you think? They're fairly even. All right, yeah. All right, into the oven they go. Now the oven is set at a fairly low temperature. It's at 300. It's basically there to dry them out. So I do have a lot of mixture left. I don't know if you can tell, but see, a lot left. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make some cookies. So just little meringue ball cookies. A lot of times you can find these in the store, especially during the holidays. I think they work best when you do them out of a piping bag. But I'm just gonna spoon them out, make little haystack looking things. They'll be tasty. And if they don't turn out, they don't turn out. But I think it'll be really good. And again, they do not grow, so they can be close to one another, but you wanna make sure that they're about the same size. So they'll dry out at the same rates. I've done this before and it's never worked out for me, and the meringue has always been super chewy, which is disappointing because it takes a long time in the oven before you figure out that it's going to be chewy. So anyways, it should be good. All right, that's it. These go in the oven for about an hour, and while I'm doing that, I am going to make my chicken salad. So just deboning the chicken and adding salt and pepper if it needs it. Usually these roasted chickens are fairly salty. And then my avocado mayo, and then I'll check back in with you. All right, so a couple things I wanted to talk about, and I had to take off my long sleeve shirt because I didn't want to get chicken guts all over it. Well, I guess the guts aren't here, but anyways. I do take off all of the skin when I go through and debone a chicken. So all the skin's taken off. I try to get as much of the meat off as possible, but I'm gonna take the carcass. I've never done this before, but I'm kind of excited to try it. I'm gonna take the carcass and I'm gonna boil it, and I'm gonna make my own chicken broth. So I use chicken broth all the time. The last time I tried to make it was not very good at all. I don't know what I did, but it wasn't flavorful. It just wasn't good. But I think using all the scraps from this, I can make a really good chicken broth. It'll be really tasty and nice and fresh. And so usually I buy the boxed chicken broth, and it serves a purpose, but I thought, you know what, I'm gonna have all these scraps. I'm gonna have the bones and the fat and all of the skin, and I think that'll just really make a really good chicken broth. And so I'm gonna do that. And then this chicken so far has made a lot of chicken salad. So, and I haven't even added the mayo to it yet, but it's nice and moist. That's one thing I like about the roasted chickens from the store, is they're super moist, and they take no time, right? So, although I could make it myself and I could buy a chicken and put on all of my own seasonings and all of that stuff, it's just, I mean, to buy a chicken, what is it? I don't even know what it costs to buy a raw chicken, but it can't be much less than the $7 I spent buying this guy. So, you know, I'm thinking that save myself some time, and then I know it's gonna be tasty. I mean, look, this bowl is already mostly full of chicken. So this is gonna last for a while. This is not something that my son typically likes. So my husband and I and my daughter will be able to eat on this for a few days, if not a week. I'll eat it with a spoon. I do eat bread now that I am about 18 weeks post-op. So I do eat bread, and I eat small slices. So Dave's Killer Bread has a thinned slice line of bread, and there's several different flavors. And so they have like whole wheat, and they have like nut bread, those kinds of things, you know, nuts and seeds that I use, and I really like it. And I use one slice to make a sandwich, and then I'm full when I'm done, and I pack it with meat. Usually I do lunch meat in it, but this is gonna be really tasty. I'll also eat tortillas. And this isn't necessarily an everyday thing, but I do eat tortillas, and the tortillas I get the protein tortillas. So it's tortillas with added protein. Now the low carb tortillas do have fewer carbs than the protein tortillas, but I don't get a lot of carbs in every day anyways. So I wanted that added protein, only because it's still, you know, with only eating about 3 to 4 ounces per meal, depending on how dense your food is. You know, it's, you know, you got to get the protein in where you can get the protein in. And so I haven't been adding a lot of protein with the protein powder to my meals. I've been getting it from my shakes, and I've been getting it from my post-workout drink. And then I get it from my food. So I'll get my protein from my chicken and those kinds of things. And so I haven't really been adding protein in anymore. And so I'm just about done deboning this. I'll wash my hands. Well, I'll shred it first, but then I'll wash my hands. I do have those claws that you can purchase at the home goods store. I do have the claws, but we used them yesterday for pulled pork. And so they're dirty and I didn't clean them. So I'm just gonna shred it by hand and make some shredded chicken. Another really good thing to make with these roasted shredded chickens is enchiladas. And so you get one of these guys, and then you can do it with or without tortillas. You know, you could do like a thin piece of zucchini or something like that. You could also pre-cook. See, the meat's already cooked. It just needs sauce and some cheese. So pre-cook it, put the sauce and cheese in there, heat it up so that the cheese is nice and gooey, and then put it on like a piece of lettuce, right? Or you can just eat it with a fork, or make it with the low carb or protein tortillas and have half of one. So it can be really tasty, and I think you'll really like it. So just an easy way to make shredded enchiladas midweek. Well, you know, all the busy things are happening. So, you know, you debone a chicken on a Sunday, you know, buy 2 or 3 of them, especially if you have a bigger family, and debone it and make some chicken salad. You can make some enchiladas. There's all kinds of things. I'd love to know what you make with your chicken when you debone it. You could also just eat chicken, right? So you could just cut it up. It's a quick meal. It feeds a lot. Look, I mean, there's a ton of meat, right? So it feeds us, a family of 4, just fine. And I have 2 teenagers, and it feeds us just fine. And so, you know, grab a chicken or 2 on Sunday, and then meal prep. It's easy meal prep. It's already cooked for you. I am a big fan of dark meat. I'm a big fan of the chicken thighs that you buy at the store, because to me they're more moist and they go down easier and they don't get stuck. So a lot of times the chicken breast will be a little bit more on the dry side and will get stuck, and then it feels like you're kind of choking it down, and then you really do need a drink while you're eating, right? So then at that point, you're not able to get in as much food, because you have to have a little sip of water just to get that the food to go down your stomach. But I don't find that is the case when I have chicken thighs, even when I overcook my chicken thighs on accident. And then I found there's a lot of really great sugar-free sauces that you can use on your chicken to help it go down a little bit easier too. So anyways, I know you can hear my pup in the background. One of them's barking at me because she's 15 and she can't get up on her own. But she's fine. She's on her bed. She just wants to see what's going on. And then the other one is also 15, and she's neurotic, and she's the one you can hear pacing back and forth. The clickety, 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 click. It's one of the reasons why I don't do videos very often, is because I always have to get them settled. But you know what? I'm changing how I do videos. I want to show you guys more real life, a day in the life of. I think sometimes my videos look like they're too perfect, like the background is perfect. Our house is lived in, right? So in the background, you'll see a cauldron because, you know, Halloween, and we haven't cleaned up that stuff yet. And then you'll see a sink full of dishes. I did them after I was done making my meringue, but they were there earlier, right? So our house is lived in, and we're not perfect. We are busy. And so I think living a bariatric life where you are busy and showing you all the different kinds of things that you can make food-wise, or the activity that you can fit in during the day. You know, while I was waiting for my, I was waiting for the meringue to whip inside of the mixer, I did a little dance party because you got to get your movement in when you can get your movement in, right? And so, you know, these chicken wings, see that? They're not gonna go away on their own. So push-ups, squats, lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of planking. I actually love planking. I love planking because it feels good after you do it. I don't love planking while I'm doing it because I do it till I start shaking and I basically collapse. And it hurts. But then, you know, immediately after, I'm like thankful that I made myself do it, because that is a good full body workout. And it really builds your core and your back and your arms and your legs and your butt, all kinds of different muscles in your body. It's a full body workout, so it's really fantastic. Anyways, I'm basically rambling on because my hands are covered in chicken juice and chicken pieces, and I can't stop my video, so I'm just rambling. Oh, for dinner tonight, we are doing fondue. So we're doing cheese fondue with sausage and some dark rye bread and green apples. So I've been craving cheese fondue forever, and I'll probably have like 5 or 6 bites, but the sausage is gonna be amazing. It's all going to be amazing. And I'm really looking forward to it. And every single thing that I am making tonight for my birthday dinner, you can have too, right? Because it's all lower carb, if that's what you're watching. I know some people follow a low calorie diet, others do a low carb diet. Either way, you should be getting in a lot of protein, right? Because your body is losing so much fat so quickly that it tends to lose muscle mass too. And that's what I did at first, is I lost a lot of muscle mass. So right now, even though I've been working out consistently for the past 3 months, right now I am still working on building back that muscle mass because I lost so much of it. So that was really fantastic. So anyways, get your protein in, super important. Get it in any way you can. Even if you're using the clear protein powder and adding it to your soups and your soft foods, all those kinds of things. I used to add mine to my water. I couldn't taste it. I know some people can, but I'll add it to water and then I'll add a little bit of Mio flavoring. So I really like that. I thought that was really tasty. And then, you know, with all the protein, you will get constipated. So don't forget to have your Miralax. I have a Miralax, a dose of it once a day. Even still, I think it helps. So anyways, I'm gonna finish making this chicken salad. It looks amazing. It's definitely gonna be several meals, especially since I can't eat as much, but my eyes are still as big as they used to be, but my stomach is not. So I still feel like I can eat this much, but I can't. But it's a good thing I have 3 other people in the house that can help me eat it. So there you go. Okay, so my head is cut off in this video because I wanted you guys to see the cake. So the meringues came out beautifully. And now I'm putting the whipping cream on them. So you do the meringue and the whipping cream. And then you put some fresh berries on there. It's gonna be so yummy. I'm so excited. And the blueberries. And like I said, this makes a really good summertime treat too. But my birthday's not in the summer, so I do it during the winter. And it's super low carb. There's no sugar in it. I use the Monk Fruit Sweetener. And you put your second layer on top. Squish it down. And I'll tell you what, I did put a little too much of the monk fruit in the meringue because it ended up being very sweet. So I didn't put as much into the whipped cream. So the whipped cream isn't quite as sweet. Throw it on. It does not look pretty when you cut into it. Well, it looks pretty, but it falls apart because the meringue is all dry and, you know, kind of like brittle like a cracker. And so it's not very appetizing looking once you cut into it, but it sure tastes good. And it's nice and light and refreshing. And of course, I'll only be able to have a very small piece, but that's okay because that's all I need. Not to mention I've been licking the spoon and the spatulas today, so. And I just kind of put the fruit everywhere only because I like to have it in every bite. I know some people would do the fruit on one side to kind of give it a really pretty aesthetic look. But I'm just putting my fruit kind of wherever. And then of course raspberries aren't necessarily in season, so these raspberries are going to be a little tart. So it'll cut some of that sweetness from the meringue from before, which will be good because it was a little on the sweet side. And of course you got my clickety-clack dog in the background. Like I said before, she's neurotic, so she kind of just paces all day, not really knowing what she wants. It's all right. All right, what do you think? That will be super yummy. So that'll be set to the side. We'll have dinner. I have the sausage cooking right now for the fondue. That's almost done. And then making the fondue, and yeah, dinner is next. So my COVID bariatric birthday is over. I had an awesome day. The dessert was great. The dinner was awesome. We had tons of leftovers of both. My parents came over and enjoyed some of the dessert with us, and it was really nice. Everybody's in bed now. I've got a really early morning tomorrow. I was a little hungry this afternoon. Well, not this afternoon, this evening. And so I had one of my protein bars and just tried to get in as much water as possible. So anyways, I hope you guys have a really great day and try the recipe. I'll put it in the video notes. Good night.